Hi everyone, it's Lex from Overland and Lex. Now, thank you for tuning in today to watch me talk about Grenadier again. In this video, I hope to cover two key points. The first point is actually giving you clarity on how much I believe you'll be paying for your Grenadier, because today is the 18th of May, which is the day we can now officially put our orders in for the Grenadier. So having gone through the website earlier today, I think it's just worth being aware and giving you a quick heads up on how much your Grenadier will be, how much you pay for your Grenadier. And then number two is I'll quickly just try to buy one and show you what's involved in the process. So how do you configure and put your order in? So let's do that. Now, the first thing I noticed when I went online to try to order one is the website is a little bit slow, but I think that's to be expected. They're fairly new to this. I think in no time they'll get over the small glitches and hurdles on the website. I don't think it's a big problem. Having said that, I think they've done a really, really good job sort of putting the whole package together, making it very simple, easy, and accessible for you to buy without feeling lost in the system, so to speak. Now, moving on to the prices, like how much would it actually cost? So if we start, actually, let's just quickly go through what is available for us to buy, right? So you've got the utility wagon, which we've been told will start from £49,000, including VAT. So in the UK, that's VAT, for those who care. That's a commercial version, two-seater. And then we've got the station wagon, which really is a five-seater version of the utility wagon, but it's been called a station wagon. It's basically a commercial version of this five-seater. That's it, and that will start from £52,000. And then we've got the Belfast editions, which really is more of a proper station wagon. It's not commercial, it's sort of standard vehicle. And they've got two versions of this, and I must get this right. This is a Trail Master. Is it Trail? Oh gosh. The Trail? Is it Trial? I don't know now. Actually, I think I know. This is a Trail Master, not Trial Master. Actually, I'm lying. This is a Trial Master, I'm joking. This is a Trial Master. I had called it Trail Master, and I've been corrected by people on YouTube. Thank you. So this is a Trial Master rather than Trail Master. Trail does sound cool. It sounds really nice, but it's a Trial Master edition. And also they've got a Field Master edition as well. We know both of those editions cost £59,000 base level. So what I feel we're missing, and I raised this point in my last video, and some people also came in and sort of raised some views on that, is initially when Grenadier told us about all of these various models and trims, we thought we would be getting a two-seater utility wagon and a five-seater utility wagon, and then we thought we would get a five-seater station wagon, and then that was it. But back in April, when the information was released, we realized we were going to be getting a two-seater utility wagon. And then we realized that Grenadier had rebranded the five-seater utility wagon into a station wagon, which is still a commercial model. And then we realized that we're actually missing a standard five-seater station wagon, which isn't an addition of something, just a basic five-seater station wagon between the utility and the standard one we feel is missing. And I'll come back to that point later. But that's what we have available for us, to us rather. The double cab version is still being built. We know that. It's still being developed in a way. So that isn't ready yet, and you can register your interest if you want to look into buying that. Now, let's go into the prices. So 49K we've been told. But in reality, and I'll do this just so you can see, I've already got the tabs open here. I'll just go through the link so you can see how this works in reality. So if you're going to configure, the website takes a bit to upload, but that's actually quicker than it had been in the past, so that's fine. Let's assume we'll go through building one later. Let's just rush through this very quickly. Go to checkout down there. this bit takes a while to load. It isn't my internet, by the way, it's just the nature of the platform right now. It is slow, but I think over time they will get this right. It is a bit slow. And then this bit comes up and then it keeps going and going. Here we go. Right. So in reality, you then jump from £49,000 basic price. So what you actually pay, or what you will pay, which is the on the road price, we now know, is £50,139 and 2 pence. But to cut it short, say 50K. So that's the first thing to note. No one will pay 49K for the most basic Grenadier. What you will pay is 50,139.02 pence if you're in the UK. And the reason why that is because they've added on the road costs. And to zoom into that, that's essentially delivery fee, the delivery fee, pre-delivery inspection. I mean, I would assume if I'm paying almost 50K for a car, you will inspect it and the cost would be on you. But anyway, that's been passed on to us. And then of course, I think standard ones, registration, number of registration, DVLA and fuel as well. So all of that comes to roughly £950. And then if you add VAT on top of that on-road cost and the basic car, the basic cost brings you to £50,140. So for 50K really is the first price you'll be paying for the most basic level of the Grenadier. So what being aware of that, and the difference really is £1,140 in addition, which really isn't the end of the world. Right? You're already paying 49K. Okay, you pay an extra £1,000, fine. You can deal with that. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think it would have been great for us to have known beforehand what the actual final value would be, but I also don't feel they've done anything wrong. Now, I have never bought a new car. So I suppose there might be the assumption that if you're going to buy a new car, this is a standard cost, and you should know about that. So I've never bought a new car. I didn't know about this. I think they should have said, oh, this is the price we're charging, but actually overall, this is what you're going to be paying. But now we know, and I think it's worth you being aware of that. I don't think it's necessarily a deal breaker. It's just worth being aware. So that's it for the two-seater utility wagon. And then if we go to the five-seater station wagon, which really is a five-seater utility wagon, if we're honest, if we go into that then jumps from 52K to 53,140. Again, what you will see there is they've added on the extra £1,140 for on-the-road fee to that. So it's fine. One point to note though is, going back to the two-seater one, where it was initially 49K and comes out with extra £1,140 on top, even though this station wagon is roughly 3K more than the 49K, they've only added extra one, so they've added the same add-on to both of them. So 1,400 to this, 1,140 to that, £1,140 to that, and that's it. What I then found very, very interesting is, as you then move on to the station wagon, the Belfast editions, I thought, okay, I suppose they've added 1,140 to this, maybe I'll end up paying 60,140 for this. But in reality, what you really end up paying, if you go for any of the Belfast editions, the basic cost will be £62,000 plus, roughly. So I found that very surprising. So for the other two commercial models, they've only added on 1,140, 1,140 here, 1,140 here. But for this, they've added on a whopping £3,000. That's the basic. That's the most minimum. That's the minimum you'll be paying before this is delivered to you. And I think that is quite a lot because that really eats into any further modifications you have to make. Now, I know some of you will say, actually, Lex, that's fine. I was never going to buy any of the Belfast editions anyway because I want to build it myself, which I think makes a lot of sense for some people. And you know what? That could work in that actually, and I did do that earlier, was preparing for this video, where you might go, actually, Lex, I'll go for this standard station wagon and I'll build it up and it's all fine. But there is a huge difference in that. And I think maybe, actually, just to say, the reason why this is 1,140 and this is 3K more could be because they're both commercial models. And maybe if you go for the commercial models, it's sort of cheaper to buy in a way as opposed to going for the standard one. I don't know. Do you have an answer for that? Please provide some comments in the comment section and we'll talk about it. So yeah, I don't know why these are much cheaper than why these two are much cheaper. The commercial versions are much cheaper than this. And I think 3K is quite a lot of money in addition to that, to 59K. Now, moving on from that, though, I think if you decide to go for the station wagon and sort of configure that to your liking, that's great. But you must remember that there is a significant difference between this and this. In that the station wagon, this is built more for passenger comfort. And the seat folds back enough that you have enough space. Your passengers are more comfortable. This, in a way, is more sort of for commercial usage. So from that perspective, you will, even though it will be cheaper for you to get this, you will be losing out on some things by going with this. And I think what we really need, as I said earlier, we need a very basic model of this station wagon that isn't a commercial one, that sits in between this, and we can then build that up to our liking. Because I feel our hands have been tied in a way behind our backs by giving us this option, but really already designing it, so we don't have a choice in a way. But I think I would like a basic level of this that I can spec to my liking. So all in all, that's my point on prices. Really, 49K isn't going to be the basic, the price you pay. The price you pay in reality for the two-seater will be 50,139. Then the price you pay for the station wagon will be 53K 139, and then the price you pay for the Belfast editions, assuming you just go for the most basic one, will be £62,000 124, £62,124. So that's it, and it's worth being aware of that. So prices to one side. Now let's try to build something, right? So I promised you that. So let's go ahead and build something. Let's say we start with the station wagon, because I think it's something some people might want to do. Go to configure, very, very exciting, and then you go right over there, boom, click on that. What do we want? You can choose if you want the turbo petrol or you want the diesel. Let's say we go for the petrol, already clicked for us. Transmission, we don't have any choice on that. We'll just go with what's there. Move on to the next one, color. This is a quick one because I mean, you can do this in your own time. So we're going to build this very quickly. Body color. Let's say we want to go for blue. Contrast element. Oh yes, let's try that. Select option. Let's say we want a white rooftop. That's extra £915. Ladder frame. Yes. Let's go wild. Let's go for red. Yes, that looks exciting. It's loading. Cool. All right, do we want it wrapped? Of course, let's do a red nose wrap. Oop. Where are you? I want a red one. Yep, red, good. Okay, there you go. That looks incredible. Rear door. So one thing to notice is if you click on this icon, it sort of brings up what it could look like. There you go. Okay, actually that's fine. Cancel that. So let's click on that. Got a flying around. That doesn't seem to be working. I see, okay. I'm about to deselect the white roof. Oops. It does take its time, doesn't it, to load up. And this definitely isn't my internet. It's just the system is quite slow. Here we go. Right, so we've got a red nose and we've got a red door, and I think that looks good. So it seems you can only choose, let's see if I can choose an orange door instead. Okay, we've got emergency orange for the nose. Change. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, so worth noting, you can't go for red nose and orange door. It has to be one or the other. So I'm gonna switch back to red because I already have my ladder as my chassis has been red. So I'll go back to red. I mean, it doesn't really matter. This is just for laughs. Okay, red nose, change. Good. Okay, gone back to red. Back to exterior now. So we've done all of that. Wheels, this looks more exciting. I'll go for that. 18 which, actually I probably want 17 inches alloy wheel so I can go off-road and do all of that. Locking wheel nuts. I mentioned in my last video, I think these should come as standard, but they're not standard, so I'll just go for them anyway because I need them. Tires, of course, BFG all day because they're really good. I've had them, on my Defender. I also have BFGs on my series as well. I love them. Moving on, this is still loading. Options and accessories. Access ladder, yes. Safari windows, would love that. Heat, that's fine. Could be good. Lockable storage, yes, love that. Utility belt, yes, we want that. This is still loading, that's fine. National flag, that's okay. Back to exterior. Moving on, moving on, moving on, moving on. Next interior. So I think you kind of get a drift, right? So we can go on and sort of, all along, this is still loading. So clearly, they need to look into the system and make sure it's more intuitive. Well, it performs better and sort of it's quicker. Leather trims, I'm not bothered. I'm not bothered. I'll go with the standard. Heated front seats, could be good to keep my bum warm in winter. Heavy duty seat covers, that's all right. Probably should go for that, but I'll chip out. It's fine. Napa leather, not bothered. Storage, yes, I want that, thank you. Lockable, it's all right. Compass, thank you. I'll leave that for now. Carpet flooring, heavy duty, yes, I'll go for that. Standard floor mats, rubber floor mats, yes, please. Thank you. Next. And this is still loading. So all along, we cannot see what it is we're building. But obviously, I'm doing this very quickly. I'm sure if I give it more time, it would come up. So, and you can see the price creeping up slowly here. Rough pack or smooth pack? I feel I'll go for the rough pack. Thank you. Off-road, a lot of options there. And I must say, I quite like how it's quick, it is easily accessible. You can see what you're doing there. Finally, this is loaded up. Awesome. One other thing to notice, some of these things aren't available yet. So for example, the differential locks front and rear. If we click on this, it shows you what it is you want there, but actually you cannot, it seems you cannot add it to your arches, sorry. It's already part of my my rough pack, so that's why that is in there. Raised air intake, I like how you also get a cyclone pre-cleaner in there, but yes, I'll go for that. If you click on that, that tells you what that does, which we've already got. It's loading now. Let's say we select that. And then you've got your side runners, your rock sliders. Let's say we go for rock sliders because, you know, we might want to go out and have some fun. And then it's loading. It does take a while to load up. I feel they'll work on this over time. I'm not too bothered about it, but it's definitely worth looking into. This is the first day. It might be a lot of excited people online trying to access this, but it is quite slow, as you can see, and it's definitely not my internet connection. It's quite fast. When it eventually comes up, we can move on. But in the meantime, we can go back to utility. Let's say we're done for now. Winch and towing as well. It's all there. Actually, I quite like this, if I'm honest. So if you do that and then you click on that, I really like how they've built the winch into the bumper. They've integrated, and it really is what it says there. They've integrated the winch into the bumper. It's very, very smooth. It's very, very neat, as the Americans say. I really like that. It's so cool. It's just a very simple, slim design. I love it. So that's that for the front winch. Then you've got the removable one as well, which is there, and that's what that looks like. So to see some of those things, when I was doing this earlier, when you add on this winch, it won't show you here because they haven't done that to this thing here. But you need to click on this image over here, and that sort of, actually you click on this icon here, and that gives you a larger picture. But you can't quite view some things here, like the winch and other things. So this one too, you would need to click on that icon to show you. So this goes to the back to show you what it looks like. And then you've got some other stuff you could add. No, but let's move on. Finally here. So as I was saying earlier, I've already added the winch. Actually, I'll just add the heavy-duty winch there. But based on what I saw earlier, it won't come up on the screen yet because I don't think they've done that yet. Let's just wait and see what happens. It is just so slow. But I have faith. I'm sure they'll work on that. And then you've got your tow ball and other things there. So let's move on. Back to utility. And then you've got power. You've got lots of other things you can do. Power, you can choose the auxiliary. So interestingly, this isn't, whilst it's there, it's not yet ready for you to click as an option. So I'm sure that over time, those things will become available. And then auxiliary battery, if you wanted that, yes. Charging points, definitely. And then back to that, and then interior cargo, roof cargo, definitely. Roof rack, absolutely, I want that. Accessories, again, you've got a ton of accessories. Yeah, a ton of accessories. I love that. Some things are available, some things aren't yet available, are not yet available. So over time, I believe they will be adding them. And then back to all of that, security, safety, absolutely, but let's move on. And then you've got a quick summary of sort of all of the things you've got and other important things that are mentioned that they need to be aware of. All along, this is still loading. I do not know why it has been so slow, but I think it's something they really need to work on and yeah, figure out. I think it would be nice to actually be able to show you what the end product looks like. But think about everything we've added so far. We started from £52,000 and now we're on 67K. But this price, I believe, sort of is inclusive of VAT and everything else. So this will be the price you pay at the end. It's a shame this isn't coming up. I'll give it another minute, or let's see if we can change our background, if that would work. If that just makes it worse. Yeah, it's quite slow. I think actually, interestingly, we only used to have indoor, and I think Iceland. Or we've got 3 options now. I think we only had 2 previously, so it's nice to see that there is one more sort of background option for you to use when you're speccing up your Grenadier. It is slow. But let's move on. Let's go to checkout. Grenadier, I hope you're watching. Cool. Right. So here we are, like I said earlier. Actually, that 67K, they've added the 949 on the road cost to it. So overall, you'll be paying £68,000, 574. So I was wrong earlier. Now, again, 52K was the starting price. We've ended up with 66K. Even though I haven't said that, well, 68K, I have added everything possible to it. So again, that's quite a lot, I think. So I think people will need to think very carefully about the added on accessories and options, because that could really go off the roof in a way. So that's that. And then, so let's say to find, before you can progress further, you need to enter a postcode. Let's say I'll enter a postcode I know about, not my postcode, some other postcode. Let's say, what is it again? Let's see, I enter this postcode here, TBC, I don't know yet. And then eventually this finishes loading. So pay today is £2,500. Now, if I have some issue with my order, they're reserving that. So it doesn't recognize that I've got a reservation already. If you already have a reservation, this should be showing £2,050 rather than £2,500. So you can go ahead and then go continue. Again, if you've got a part exchange vehicle you want to exchange, you can sort of put the information in there. And it gives the information here. Do you want to hear more about finance options? Yes. Do you want a part exchange? Let's say yes. Registration, I can look up a reg. No, let's see. Okay, doesn't matter. If you have a vehicle you want a part exchange, you can put the information in there. I did that earlier. And then it gives you a valuation, and they've used Auto Trader in the UK as the valuation company. Then that gives you a valuation, but it doesn't take it off your final price yet. It just sort of notes that down, and then you can click continue. Oop. And then what I'm going to do quickly here is, because I don't want you to see my details, I'll quickly delete my details, and then I'll plug it back in, and you can then see where we go from there. So I've got my name currently down, which I will delete. Some of you might have already seen that. Delete that too. I don't want you people seeing my number, so I'll delete that. And then my address, I'll also delete. And I will also delete my postcode. So let's move on. And that should come back up now. So where are we? So let's say we'll make all of this up. So if we're to make all of this up and put all that information in there, and then you click order now, and that's it. So you basically can then order your Grenadier. Having said all of that, this £2,500 you pay will be refundable. So once you've made this deposit payment, you can then choose, if you wanted to sign a contract, which they'll inform you about that later. Or once they ask you to sign a contract, you can choose to wait to sign a contract once you've seen a Grenadier. So it depends on how you want to play it. You can pay the 2.5K, and then I believe it's 60 days before your build date, they'll come to you and ask you to lock it in by signing the contract. So once you've signed the contract, you are then fully in. If you don't sign the contract, you can still get your money back anytime. So that's pretty much it in terms of the actual price you're going to pay for your Grenadier, and also the ordering process. Now, I've put a lot in there. I've quickly, it's a sort of quick whistle stop tour. What do you think? Do the prices still sound reasonable to you? Do they put you off? Are you still happy to buy? Have you already ordered? Let me know. I'm excited to hear about it. I haven't ordered yet because I need to resolve an issue with my order number with Grenadier. But I'm excited. We can finally order. As you can see, the website still needs working on, but I think that's just a minor thing they'll be able to work on. So hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, give it a thumbs up. Please, 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 I'd love you to also consider subscribing. It helps with numbers. And yeah, enjoy your evening, your time, wherever you are, and see you again. Take care.